Yo nerds, what's up? Ninja Dad coming at you today with episode 9 of the Skyrim Legendary Guide. We're doing the second part of the Dragon Shouts, and well, I'm assuming that if you're listening to this, that you obviously on episode 9 must either be a friend or family, and that's okay. These videos were designed, as I said right at the start, so that people in the future could get to know who I was, or even people now can get a better sense of who I am. So what we're going to do today is we're going to blast through a whole bunch of the different shouts, and we're going to do on the way here we're at Velthum, and we're going to go through and get part 2 of Aura Whisper. So yeah, hang on to your hats and let's go. So yeah, running the Dawnbreaker weapon in here, and oh look, first video we covered why it's great to get your sneak to 100, and already we are looking at not stepping on a trap and setting it off. Never gets old. So yeah, the first one we're going to have a quick look at will be Saltier, and as you can see, outside of Legendary, Salty is absolutely devastating. In Legendary, it's okay. It's not like a silver bullet kind of shout, like maybe slow time or something, but it's got some major benefits. Look, it was absolutely great not to fall down a hole. I didn't even see that when I was playing it through. One of the other things you'll probably see is, if you're looking at me playing this game, it's pretty clearly evident you don't have to be perfect to play on Legendary. Hell, you don't even have to be very good. Wow. You just have to understand some of the mechanics, as we pointed out in some of the other videos. So yeah, we're just going to blast through, and Dawnbreaker against the undead is like an absolute godsend. You get that in the statue of Merida, the quest, or beacon of Merida, whatever it is, quest early on, and man, dynamite against these guys. Absolute dynamite. So yeah, here's Mark for Death. Just, you know, like stripping them of armour and slowly draining them of life. It's pretty handy. And what have we got here? Saltier, I think, is this one. So as you can see, it does do a hit for damage, and it does actually weaken them, but Mark for Death, the advantage of that is it hits multiple targets. Saltier hits one, so you got to weigh up where you're going with your different dragon shout choices, I guess, as to which one you want to use in which situation. Have a look here. Here's another advantage of Dawnbreaker, making them all run, giving you a chance to take them off balance and then kill them. Okay, so here we're having a look at slow time. So with the 3 words in the shout, you've got 16 seconds of them basically running at 10% speed. What could go possibly wrong with that? Man, they are slow, and you basically are darting between their attacks. You can dodge arrows really quite easily with that, and well, you get to get up on particularly ranged things that are an absolute pain in the ass, like, I don't know, vampires and wizards. Particularly, it's an absolute devastating spell for that. But it's not just for that, because like as you look here, you've got what, a crypt full of Dragon Death Lords that can't get more than a couple of hits on you, when there's like probably what, 4 of them in the room or something. So, geez, what a difference that makes. Boom, and there you go. You've got the Dawnbreaker doing its job as well of staggering them. When you get a kill, they can get staggered from the blast, and some of them will disintegrate, but you're not going to disintegrate a Dragon Death Lord. But you can take them off balance and give you an opening to do another strike on. Right. And there's the wall. That's what we were after. Interestingly enough, this is also the place where you get, what is it, Kevin's Fang or whatever it is for the alteration. You get the heart scales. Right there. Now we're going to have a look at the boss fight in here, which is why we actually came in here. And once again, we're using slow time. And man, this guy, he's run around this room for ages, and I've chased him with Dremora Lords and all sorts of stuff. Here, I didn't even have my bloody sword drawn, and you can kick his ass with one full power slow time shout. That you've got 16 seconds of kicking his ass while he's moving at 10% speed. Man, that is huge. Absolutely huge. Yep, that's all the bits and pieces. He barely even got a shot on me. I don't know if he did. Crazy. Alright, here's a look at slow time yet again against those pain in the ass vampire crew. You know the ones I'm talking about. Once again, someone who likes to use a sword or an axe, these guys are a pain in the ass, because what do? They back off from you. With slow time, man, there's none of that crap. They're going to get caught. The other thing you want to do with Dawnbreaker is aim for the one with the least life, because it triggers another blast like that and it stuns them again. So you can keep that going. Here we've got another look at Become Ethereal. Once again, it's become one of my more go-to shouts, would you believe. I hardly ever used it previously, but in doing this series, man, it's huge. Look at this. Whoa, all the way down. And in battling dragons, man, if a dragon can't hurt you, it's not going to wipe you out with those bloody soul life draining spells that it does. All those shouts, they're devastating. Yep. And with all your gears, you can actually get this back really fast. And boom, you're away. We're also going to have a quick look at, what is it, the upgraded version of Unrelenting Force. Now when I say upgraded, there's different things you can do, and I'll show you in a moment. that you can get a boosted shout on this one. And that's what happens. These weaker little things, they just blow to bits. As you can see, I've got my shield and a healing spell out. So, kind of taking the piss with them a little bit, but you know, what are you going to do, right? Line it up, hit both, boom, boom, done. Okay, so let's look at why that happened. Alright, so active effects, when you're doing the black books that you get to do in Solstheim, there's a bunch of perks that you get at the end of each book, and these are the ones that I've chosen. So you got your Dragonborn Force that does it, and your Force of Effort, and your Companion's Insight, and the other active effect is down the bottom somewhere. What's that one? There it is, Seeker of Sorcery, which I chose that one because the enchantments are 10% more powerful, and the other ones fall under powers. So there's 7 in total. These are the ones that I've chosen. So you've got here, Black Market, what is it, Mora's Boon, and Secretive Arcana. So you can choose what you like. There's 3 choices for each one. Those are the ones that I've chosen. Right, and now we're going to move on to Cyclone, which is a shout you get on Solstheim. It's basically a different version of Unrelenting Force that throws them up. So, major advantage in my opinion of Cyclone is it takes your enemies off their feet. When they're off their feet, you see one line there, boom, boom, boom. When they're off their feet, they're not going to be attacking you. And as you can see here, once again, I'm swinging his sword like an absolute goof on Legendary, and you know, yes, I've gone up the levels and I've put in the time, but you don't have to be good. Clearly, looking at my gameplay here, wow. But that's it. You just got to understand the mechanics, and you're away. Cyclone, yeah, takes them off their feet, gives you the opportunity to get hits on them that you normally wouldn't be able to easily. I actually quite like using Cyclone to separate enemies out. Usually you've got, when you come into an engagement, you've got some kind of warrior dude, a melee guy, protecting some kind of archer dude or a mage, as in this case here. Well, and as you'll see, one gets flung behind me or up somewhere, he's gone. The archer, he's on the ground, I can take that one out, he's not going to give me any problems, and then I can turn around and, oh, there he is, bang, face the melee guy without the archer shooting me in the face. Cool. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to show you. I don't rate ones like Fire Breath or Frost Breath, and when you're not on Legendary, they're actually pretty good. When you are on Legendary, well, I think they're pretty shit. As you'll see, at least it stuns them, and they're on fire, so they take more damage, but didn't do subtle damage. And once again, you'll see here with Frost Breath, and yeah, I didn't even have it set. I didn't have it on my quick change. And you can see that was, you know, like, what did they say? Proper prior planning prevents poor performance. Wow, that was just poor to turn up to a battle and not even have your shit ready. So yep, he got a blast on me because of that. Otherwise he wouldn't have. But as you see, it didn't do a lot of damage. Whereas here, disarm, man, disarm comes back real fast, and suddenly they're weakened dramatically. They don't have their primary weapon that they want to hit you with, and because it comes back so fast, you can strip the secondary weapon out of their hand, making them almost completely ineffective. Boom, down, just like that. I put this part in to show you that it doesn't strip the weapon out of everything, so those bloody dwarven things doesn't take their weapons away. So you want to target them as soon as you can if you're running disarm against all these other bandits. There, just did it then, and see how fast on the bar up top it's coming back. That's the advantage of wearing the different gears. You're ready, and you can do it again. And look at the range on it. That's awesome. Such a versatile shout. And if you keep crouching quite regularly, the archers at range have to look for you again, which is why you often see me bob up and down. One of the mechanics of the game, one of the advantages of filling out the sneak tree. Here we're having a quick look at one of the good uses that you can put unrelenting force to. Okay, it's not going to disintegrate this target, but one of the benefits of it is it's just going to blow them off wherever you're up, and if you're up above something like that, boom, he's gone. You don't have to worry about it. I had a crack at doing this guy as well, but once again, you've got to be in the right position to trigger that. As you can see, he missed that one up, but he's off his feet, not able to defend himself whilst he's getting caned. Yeah, it's definitely benefits to unrelenting force.
Boost! Soon,
Alright, so we're going to show the combat use of Whirlwind Sprint. Caveat here. You do have, if you are going to use that for combat, you do kind of have to be reasonably accurate with it. The best thing about it is you can get up on archers real fast, and the best way to do that is to run right into them. As you can see, I missed him, and he still got the shot off on me, but he would have got 2 or 3 shots if I was just running up to him. So yeah, closing the gap fast is a good combat tactic, but look here, in this particular thing, I got it right, I hit him, I could get my shots off on him, but these guys here, on Legendary, the wizardy type dude, man, he did a bloody number close up. So, you know, it's on Legendary, once again, you kind of still got to be careful, and you can't just cavalierly run in like an absolute idiot sometimes. But with the mechanics of it, he's the priority, that guy. So without him in the way, this other one's toast. But it's good to know. Oh, I put this part in because, well, those giant bloody dwarven dudes, look at how he took half of my life off of one quick hit. And I'm like, okay, not the place for a shout for me. A couple of Dremora Lords to distract him, and I can take his back. Just like that. Alright, so for the next one, we're going to make a couple of Dragonbone swords here. We're going to put some fresh ones on because we're going to be looking at Elemental Fury, and you can't have any magic abilities on your swords for Elemental Fury. It just goes, no, sorry, not going to do it. So we're going to make some fresh swords, and we're not even going to power them up anywhere near as powerful as the other swords that I've got. Like Dawnbreaker's probably 3 times more powerful than these ones that I'm making. I'm just making them nice and weak, but you can still get to see just how effective they are. And I'll show you what I've teamed it up with once we get there in a moment, so you can actually see why it looks like it's a sped up video. It's just insane. So on the one-handed tree, you've got yep, so we'll have a look at it here. So we're going to look at where is it? Elemental Fury, there it is. Okay, so you can't use this with magic weapons, and it's very much for dual wielding, which is why on the one-handed side, if you boost up the right hand side of your skill tree, it makes a massive difference. So as you'll see here, it looks like it's sped up. Absolutely insanely fast. So you don't even have to put on good weapons for this. And if you look in the tree here, yeah, I've got critical hits going nuts on that. I haven't even fully powered either of them. The Dual Fury, 35% faster, and Dual Savagery, 50% bonus damage when you're dual wielding. Makes an absolute meal of all of your melee attackers. People who are not going to back off and run away from you are going to get absolutely chewed up with Elemental Fury. And you can still sneak up on them, as you'll see.
bad time to get lost,
Ooh.
friend. Do your work. Enough.
Now ain't this a surprise?
Yep, and as you can see, once again, I've switched to a combat version of the whirlwind sprint, getting up and missed him. Absolutely crap. Missed him again because he ran to the side. I was like, well, what the hell? But, you know, once again, it's one of those things that you've got to be accurate with. Now, I put this one in to show you the absolute weakness of Elemental Fury. As in, I think it was probably the second video when we went to Anissa's cabin and battling mages. You can't do that from a melee thing when they just run away from you like this. They're backing away, you're not getting your strikes on, they are hitting the crap out of you. That's far less than ideal. So Elemental Fury, totally weak in this aspect. So what do we do? Well, that didn't work. How about we change up our game strategy for these guys? What does work? Well, I'll tell you what works. Slow time bloody well works. We know that because we've seen it. Okay, so fix our life and fix our stamina and see the difference. These guys here, they were chewing us up with Elemental Fury, which is not ideal to face against these guys. Look how devastating one quick round of slow time is on these turkeys. Elemental Fury, not so flash, slow time for the win, totally and utterly on these guys. Just like that. And yeah, when you're fighting vampires, always look afterwards so that you're not going to become a vampire. Unless you want to become a vampire, which personally I think it's a pain in the butt. Always being weak to fire and not getting your stamina back or your life back. It's just annoying. So yeah, slow time is got a major advantage over Elemental Fury when you're fighting against mages. And vampires are mainly mages, and got to take that into account when you're fighting different opponents. Play to your strengths and their weaknesses. Yeah, fighting a vampire. Look how quickly I got the Sanguinara Empress, whatever it's called. Yep, changing into a vampire one. You're going to get that a lot when you're fighting vampires, so just pay attention to that. But that guy would have run away. He would have run away and gone invisible. He didn't even get an opportunity. He was getting absolutely slammed with the two swords. You can do the little crouchy thing, I think, as I do here, as I step away. The ranged attackers lose visual on you, and then you can kick the crap out of them again. Just like that.
did you know? I thought I was going to die in here. Thank you. Fine. See.
Okay, in this particular part, it's a dragon battle. With all the gears that you've got on, watch how many different shouts you can do in a real short space of time. I've already used one. I used the Become Ethereal quickly so that I wasn't going to get absolutely caned with whatever it was he was attacking me with. Then I've decided to drop him to the ground with a Dragon Rend shout, which is a very fast return. Go Dragon Aspect, so that Dragon Aspect is a massive boost to whatever you're going to use. As you'll see here, that boosts even the Elemental Fury. This looks ridiculously fast. And once again, these guys, they're melee. When they're on the ground, they've got the desire to come and attack you, and you can let them get up on you, or you can get up on them, and you can absolutely chim to bits with 2 swords on the Elemental Fury. Absolutely devastating for these guys. So let's have a look at, I'll put up on the locations of the different ones we're kind of dealing with, but I'll talk about what they are. So Become Ethereal, it's a really good shout to protect you from getting damage that would probably kill you, like a big fall or a life draining attack. Yep, that's definitely a powerhouse one that you definitely want to have in your arsenal. Disarm, man, the ability to take not only the primary but also the secondary weapons out of people's hands, that's huge. It basically renders a whole heap of things completely ineffective. If they can't hurt you, they're not going to kill you. What's that next one we're looking at here? It's Elemental Fury. As you can see, yep, there are weaknesses to Elemental Fury, but against a group of bandits and melee attackers who aren't ranged, it's absolutely brutal. Even on low powered swords, they're going to absolutely chew them up. So you're marked for death. I prefer marked for death even over Saltier, because it hits multiple attackers and you've got your life drain and your armor drain on them. It's a good hit. Slow time is definitely one of those sleeper silver bullets. It's one you don't want to get caught without. As you've seen on this video already multiple times, slow time has worked in a range of situations, making it an incredibly versatile shout. Definitely one you don't want to get left behind on. What's our next one that we're going to look at? We'll have a look at Dragon Aspect. Huge. You don't want to sleep on this, and you definitely don't want to leave this one behind. Dragon Aspect is massive. It is an absolute monster of a shout that means all of your other shouts are not only faster to come out and redo, but also they hit harder. And there's a little sneaky one that goes along with this that I'll show you later on at the end of the video. We'll put another one in for that. But Dragon Aspect, don't leave home without it. Cyclone, it's okay. To be perfectly honest, I mean, it is quite a good shout. I do find in most cases that Unrelenting Force is more effective, but it's still pretty good. I guess we're gonna have to come to have a look at some of the other bits and pieces. Storm Call. Okay, the other two that we're going to look at is Bend Will and Storm Call. Okay, Storm Call is great when you don't have a follower and you've got a ton of enemies against you. If you don't want to get a huge bounty, don't do it in a town. It doesn't distinguish between friend and foe, and it just wipes everything out. And Bend Will is you use it to ride dragons, but there's more to it than that. So let's have a look. This is what everyone uses it for, or everyone that uses it. You want to ride a dragon. There's huge benefits to riding a dragon if you've got tons of attackers and a dragon that you're defending against. Jump on the dragon. Man, it's fun, it's different. You don't have to worry about the attackers on the ground. Magic spells are a lot harder to hit you, arrows harder to hit you, and the dragon hits them. Yeah, lots of fun, and yeah, a different thing to do. Not something you do very often, so yeah, have some fun with it. And as you can see, you can target different things. I'm on PlayStation, so I push the triangle button and I can cycle through the targets, have a target or no target, and that will be who the dragon would attack. The other thing that with that is, whilst you're targeting whatever it is you're targeting, you can then set your magic spells, so you can attack them with fireballs from up there, and you can rain down fireballs and they'll be going onto that target or at that target, which does make it quite handy. Yep, that's what most people use Bend Will for. Yep, there's my horse. Don't hit the horse. I think you can fast travel on the dragon. I think. I can't remember how to do it.
As you command.
Yeah, you can land. Now, if you hit a dragon with Bend Will and you don't ride it, it will become hostile again and attack you. But as you can see here, because I've taken a ride on the back of the dragon, it does not become hostile to me. So yay! That's one win, I suppose. And now we're going to look at what else you can do with Bend Will. It does kind of have shades of some of the other spells or some of the other different shouts, but here, boom, and a bunch of them. Some of them have been completely and utterly put under my control, or at least they become like temporary followers. And yep, definitely kind of handy to clean up an area when you've got a big team against you and suddenly half of them are on your side. So cool. As you can see though, doesn't last all that long, and at least the herd has been thinned, and which is the other thing you can do for it. So you're thinning the herd and then take out the ones that remain. Okay. Here we're going to have a look at, initially I've done it just on this part here with just a couple, so you can see that how frequent the lightning strikes are. And all I'm going to do is just block my stats here, and you'll see what's going on. Yep, she's down already. Boom. So let's jump into a place where there's heaps of people. Yep. Poor old storm clothes. Yeah, got suffer on this one. But as you can see, look at how fast the storm calls strikes are on a bunch of people. See, how it works is you've got 3 tiers of it, so you've got 1 minute, 2 minutes and 3 minutes of storm call, and it either hits for 40, 60 or 80 damage per lightning strike, and it's between 3 and 6 seconds as a lightning strike on a target. And the range of it is centered around you. At the first couple is 100 feet, the second one, the third one is at 150 feet. So enemies and friends are going to get hit with storm call. What it looks like to me is that Companion's Insight might have actually been protecting some of the dudes that were on my side, which is the ones around the edge, you can see. But yeah, I've got 2 of the 3, so for 2 minutes I've got like death raining down from above, and yep, don't have to do sod all, they get cleaned up. Yeah, that's easy. Alright, this is the one that takes the longest. The longest comeback is Storm Call. Okay, so Bend Will. Here we're looking at using it basically like a calm spell. Just like that. Now, here we're going to pair up Storm Call with Dragon Aspect. So the first off, what you want to see is Storm Call with my gear on. The second stage of it is 192. After you do Dragon Aspect, it changes dramatically. As you can see, it's less than half. Cool. So, once again, you've got to try and keep things within 100-foot radius of yourself. Whatever's in that 100-foot radius is going to get hit with the lightning strikes. And because we've paired up Dragon Aspect, now's a really good time to show you one of the little hidden things with Dragon Aspect that I don't know, it's really worth it. So what we have to do is let our life get under half. So we're not going to heal up just yet. We'll let the life drop so you get to see what actually goes on with it. And once again, you've got to try and focus on staying within 100 feet of as many attackers as you can. I don't know if you just heard it, but we might have a little something or other running around beside us right about now. So we'll let someone else take the heat. We'll get in there and you'll see him in a moment. And you can also see in this, you can see some of them in the distance getting hit with the lightning strike. So it's quite a range on it. Okay, so now that we've triggered him anyway, and we don't want to die, we'll put a healing thing on. Here he is. Once you get under half life, you summon out like another dragon warrior dude. Comes out with a battle axe. He does shout. He doesn't stick around for too long, but man, that's pretty bloody handy. Whenever you can only do dragon aspect once a day, but when you do it, man, it makes a difference. It really does. So yeah, that's Storm Call paired with Dragon Aspect, so you get to do your Storm Call again quite quickly. The shout time reduction is massively dropped. Yeah, just like that. So this is pretty much going to be my last video in the Legendary Guide series. We've covered an absolute ton. I didn't expect to get 9 videos done on this, but when you look at it, there's an absolute ton of stuff to cover in Skyrim, and it's been lots of fun showing it all off. So if you've liked it, yep, I'll probably be posting other bits and pieces, and keep an eye out for me. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. I've had a blast with this series, and I might have to start and do a couple of streams, but we'll just enjoy the last bits here. You can see how much the Storm Call just absolutely wipes everything out. I've had a blast. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Radio. See you now.